Welcome on in, NYMD podcast. Kevin Hurt, Brian Sherrod here, coming at you the weekend after Christmas.
Woo!
How was your Christmas, my man?
It was good, man. It was good, man. How about you? How was yours?
Listen, like I said, when the family's happy, I'm happy.
Exactly.
So everyone's feeling like their gifts, all the last minute shopping, all the Amazon ordering, all the because it's not like for me, I'm a last second dude.
Yeah.
So this year I had to change my tactics a little bit. There was no Christmas Eve shopping. It was more like Christmas Eve. Did that package get here yet?
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like every day for like the past 2 weeks or so, UPS, FedEx, the United States Postal Service was at my door with a package.
Yep.
There were a couple packages that didn't make it, but it's okay.
Yeah, I got one on Christmas Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Got one on Christmas Day. I was like, first of all, you're delivering mail today? That's number one.
Wow.
Number two, I forgot about that anyway. I was like, should I wrap this? What should I do now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, the best Christmas gift I got was a Christmas gift that I ordered the first week of December. Got email saying it was delayed. A week later, I got an email saying it was canceled, and it showed up on Christmas Eve. So, yeah, not bad.
Yeah, that happened a lot.
Yeah,
that happened a lot. A lot of people ordering stuff back in November that just got here. So
yeah.
So, but welcome everybody. Hope you had a good Christmas. NYMD podcast. Of course, we're live on YouTube. You could follow us, subscribe, NYMD podcast, and you know that we're everywhere where your podcasts are: Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. And where you find podcasts, you find NYMD podcast. And of course, on our social media, we're on Facebook, on the Twitter, and we're on IG, NYMD podcast. So, man, this is our last show of the year. So next week we'll have our year-end review. It might be short because it was 2020, and I don't know how many good things happened.
Yeah, I got 2 words for the year in review.
Well, we can't say that here. Well, you don't even curse, so that would be me. So yeah, well, we'll use those next week. But yeah, so where you want to start off at? You want to do the NFL because we had we had a game Saturday and a game on Friday.
Yeah, we got let's talk about week 15 so we can talk about week 16, man, because week 16 has already started off with a bang, and I can't wait to talk about it. So last week I did pretty decent with my picks. How'd you do?
I do not remember, honestly, because everything on it. This is the whole thing. This week has gone by so fast.
Yeah.
That I didn't even remember. First of all, having it now again, this is the NFL year where we've actually had a game like every day of the week.
Yeah.
Which is like the first time ever, and I think that's just thrown me off because I didn't remember the game yesterday at all.
Yeah, it's funny. This past week, the Ravens played on a Sunday for the first time in like a month. It's like they went back. They played a game on Wednesday, then Tuesday, then Monday, then Sunday.
Oh gosh,
yeah.
I got 10 last week.
All right, so did I.
Yeah.
So, let's see some surprises from last week. Let's see.
Yeah, last week seems so long ago, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, we had the Colts in Houston. Deja vu all over again. Houston's driving. They're in the red zone. I think they're on like the 10. They're about to. It's their last drive. They're about to go in for the game-tying score, I believe, and fumble near the goal line. Indy recovers. Ball game. And it was funny because 3 weeks before, or 2 games prior to that, same thing. Deshaun was about to drive in, I think, for the winning score. He fumbled the ball on the snap, and that was game.
Yeah, there wasn't too many surprises for me last week, except for the biggest one was that Cincinnati-Pittsburgh game. least for me, was
I think you're missing the biggest surprise from last week.
oh yes, why? You know what's crazy? Maybe because my brain went back, I don't know, 10 years, thinking that, you know what, we will not have a winless team this year.
Yeah,
totally overlooked that whole thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Even though the Ravens killed Jacksonville 40-14, they still won on Sunday. It was weird. They still got the win.
Well, yeah, because they're number one now in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes.
Yep.
So congratulations to Jacksonville, and Jacksonville. I'm little. It's called a tease. This is what we call a tease in the biz. Jacksonville has a new spot in the top 5, bottom 5. I'm not going to give it away. But there's some, since there was some draft movement, there was some movement in the top 5, top 5, bottom 5. So some seismic shifts occurred. So we have to come out and find out about that later. But
let's talk about this, yo. What happened to your team, yo? The Rams. I mean, how did they lose that freaking game? Come on, man.
You want to talk about coming out asleep? Well, the crazy thing is, honestly, the Jets have been playing well the last couple of weeks, right? At least defensively, they've been playing well. And the Rams playing at home, they were playing at home. So it's not like they had to travel or had any kind of excuse whatsoever. They had none. They came out and laid a giant, huge ostrich egg. And that's what they get. I mean, they were asleep. They were asleep at the wheel. They were straight up asleep at the wheel. They didn't perform on offense, defense, nothing. They were. I didn't even see. The thing is, I think it was on Red Zone. I watch Red Zone. I honestly didn't hear the name Aaron Donald like the whole game, which is just so. I usually hear him once or twice. I did not hear that dude's name. They did a great job, just keeping him at bay, and just moving at least get enough points to win the game, man.
Yeah.
You're totally right. I can't. I'm sitting here more. I was so concentrated on Cincinnati that I just went right past the Jets. But man, that was So the Rams were.
Well, let's talk about that game too, because I've been saying this. You've heard me say on this podcast for the last month or so that this team was no good. The Steelers are on a free fall right now. I don't even know if the Steelers are going to win another game this season. They stink.
Well, they have no running game at all.
They keep I keep hearing people say, "Oh, the Steelers need to run." They cannot run.
Can't run.
They should not run because they only get 2 to 3 yards per carry. I don't care if you put Connor out there, McFarland, Snell. It doesn't matter. They cannot. Yeah, I think. I think Benny Snell had one long run that kind of boosted their average. I know he had a long run on the sideline for like 20, 30 yards. But other than that, that was it. They cannot run the ball. They stink, man. And Ben Roethlisberger, he's looking older and older each game, man. I think he's about done, man.
He always looks the same now. That dude always looks like.
Yeah, but he's looking as the season is going on hurt. He can't throw the ball downfield no more. He's only throwing, I think he's averaging like 5.9 yards an attempt. It's something ridiculous. They can't throw the ball, man. And then when he does throw the ball, his receivers drop it half the time, it seems like.
Oh my God, dude. Those past couple of games before this one where they were losing, those dudes were dropping things left and right.
Yeah.
Left and right. It was those dudes couldn't catch a cold.
Nah, man.
They were, literally dropping everything. It was ridiculous, man. But but you picked them to lose a couple weeks ago to the Jets did, right? I think.
Yeah.
Jacksonville, somebody. You picked them to lose or get upset by somebody a couple.
It might have been Buffalo.
Yeah, before they lost to Washington. I think because I picked them to Washington to win, mostly because I just had a feeling, like you said, we both kind of felt it. You felt it earlier, and I know you watched their games definitely more closely than I do. But I knew I just had a feeling like I didn't expect them to keep losing.
Yeah, and I was just so frustrated because with the Ravens COVID game when they played Pittsburgh, that the Ravens almost beat them. I was like, I was watching this team. I was like, man, if the Ravens had their full squad, they would have killed. They would have killed them.
Yeah.
They're just not the same team, man. They have a lot of injuries on defense, and like I said, their offense just stinks. People figured them out. People are like, okay, all we have to do is play these dudes close, these receivers close. Ben can't throw deep.
Yep.
They can't run the ball, and they just play up on them receivers. That's it.
Oh, that's new. Why did they come up looking like that? What's up, Doc?
Oh, I switched it up. I don't like that. I'm gonna switch it back.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Okay, you're switching up all types of things. We didn't even start. I was thinking I'm searching for the new year.
Yeah, I was trying to, do something a little different, but yeah.
I thought you were gonna change the background color. No, I don't want you changing the background color because you might make it purple one day and that make me upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. That's it. Yeah, that's exactly. He's getting fancy out here, man. Listen. He had enough time because I could not wake up this morning, so that could be.
yeah, exactly. I was just like, let me fool around with this.
Let me see how this looks because Hurts sleep. He can't get up. So yeah, that was down. But those two games were the big games, man, for me personally. From last week, everything else was status quo.
Yeah,
I thought Washington do a little bit better, but again, Haskins being.
We got to talk about your boy.
Oh, I'm about to get into that. So Haskins being there totally changes the dynamic of the team. And it was 20-15. If Alex Smith was there, I think they would have won that game. The defense that Washington has is good enough to win a playoff game. That defense is out of control. But they need someone not to turn the ball over. I know we were missing Gibson for turf toe for the second week. He should be back this week. But, you would think someone who was demoted to third string, who's getting a chance, an opportunity to, captain, because he was a captain.
He was a captain?
They voted him captain at the beginning of the season to take this team into the playoffs. Like, this is your chance to, if it's not going to be, because in all honesty, Alex Smith, we all know, is not a long-term quarterback solution. This is where you come in and you show up for the team that drafted you. You do what you're supposed to do. So what did he do? Come up, average game, of course. Then what do you do afterwards? After you lose a game that you could help you get into the playoffs?
He celebrated.
Yeah, let me just have some adult entertainment come over to the crib. And now we got a bunch of maskless people going around. Yeah, how? Just, and this wasn't like a James Harden thing, okay? James Harden's on it. I think he's just doing a rebellion at this point. Like he's that kid. James Harden's that kid that can't get what he wants to eat for breakfast. So he just sprawled out in the middle of the floor saying, I want to go home. I want to go home. And that's what he's doing. Haskins, this is your chance to take over a team that was taken away from you because you didn't earn it, to re-earn the trust of the organization and of the team. And you lose the game, and we may need you to, I don't even know if Alex Smith is healthy enough today, and you decide to have this, and pictures are taken everywhere, and they stripped him of the captaincy. He got fined a huge amount of money.
Good. And
this was your opportunity. He's done. Yeah. There's no coming back from this now. Yeah. Like just the level of stupidity it's just the level of stupidity is just so high when it comes to this. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, you hear all the time the NFL, especially if you're a quarterback, you have to live, breathe, and eat football. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be dedicated to the sport. It's obvious to me that Haskins is a guy that his heart's not in it. He doesn't care about football. He doesn't care about his career. I think he cares more about being a NFL player, more about being you know what I mean? Like, I think
more about the lifestyle.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, there's no excuse. Like you said, this was your shot, man, take advantage of it. No, but you're out doing this. He's very immature.
Yep.
He hope he held on to his signing bonus and invested it, because that's it. I mean, somebody will probably take a shot on him, but dude, no, when you're the quarterback, you are the face of the franchise. You are the CEO, as they say. You can't go around acting like that, man. Especially, I didn't even know the dude was a captain.
He was a captain. We voted him a captain at the beginning of the season because he was trying to do things differently. So that's because he came to the season. He was working out all off season. He lost some weight, put on some pounds, like some muscle weight. Because it was a new head coach, so he had to prove himself to a new head coach, and he did. The dude got demoted to third string, and there's a reason. Everything that Ron Rivera has come in and tried to change has proven correct. Like just taking Haskins out, doing everything that he needed to do. I mean, to me, I was like, man, that dude's not even a backup. He's third string. Well, there's a reason, because of his attitude.
Yeah. So,
yeah, it's just – and we may need him today. I don't even know what we're playing. Who are we playing today? Carolina, which is a Ron Rivera not revenge game, but you know what I mean. It's the Ron Rivera Bowl.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's – and then not only that, but your coach just had a bout with cancer. And you're going out having these adult entertainers come over, and you're having a massless party in your crib.
Yeah,
you're going around all these people, like just anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of people having like COVID blackouts like this, like it's not here anymore.
Right.
Like, well, I mean, I know that's half the country, but it's just like, I don't know. This is again, people not taking it seriously. This dude didn't get no vaccine. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that he seems to be allergic to is maturity.
And touchdowns.
Well, no, he throws them to the other team.
All right, man. Well, let's talk about week 16.
Yeah, since it started already.
Yeah, because we've already had, what, 4 games?
4. We had 4 games.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some of which I forgot.
I forgot at least 4 of them. Because Friday was Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So Friday was Christmas. Dude, it wasn't until, I think, Dan texted me at like 8 o'clock saying, "Oh, I'm glad I wasn't playing Raymond this week." And I'm like, "What are you talking?" My whole head really was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Oh, you're playing Raymond this week?
Yeah.
So
not that it matters. Thank you very much, by the way.
I wasn't gonna bring that up. I wasn't thought you were mad at me for like a couple of days.
I meant to congratulate you, man.
Right, listen, don't congratulate me yet.
No, I mean for making it.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. And congratulations to Dan for making another Empire Bowl. He's 2-0 in Empire Bowls.
Yeah.
So it'll be your first 3-time champion between him or the Rabid Wolves or Wolves FC. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I was trying to go to 3 straight championships, but
Well, listen, that's an accomplishment, man.
Yeah,
that's definitely an accomplishment. So. And again, it's funny that these 3 same teams between Raymond, you, and me were in the playoffs, the same semifinals last year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Get to this point, so it's that's the Empire.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes when we got today's game. I think for the Empire to be settled today. So I don't think there's any Monday games. So
I think it is today.
Yeah, he's made some bad choices. I made some bad choices. Thank you. Leaving Wilson Jr. on the bench. So, it is what it is. He called me. I don't even want to get too much into fancy, but it's a funny story. So, I'm superstitious. So, especially if I'm playing somebody, I really don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. But it's Christmas too. I don't know why it feels like last season when I was playing you, it wasn't all this, I want to say tension, so to speak.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. It was just like we were just playing a final. You know what I mean? But this week's just weird. I don't know. It's just weird. So, but we're really talking about everything else but fantasy. But he's calling me. He's like, I don't know why I did this. I don't know why I did this. And then because he's in the champ, I'm in the championship in another league too. And so we're sitting here trying to give each other advice on our other leagues while we're playing each other in this one. You know what I'm saying? So it's hilarious, dude. Well, the good thing for me in my other league is that I have Kamara. So
Well, I'm in the championship in my other league, and the dude had Kamara.
Oh,
No, it's not cool because he had Kamara.
yeah. I was gonna say cool. Cool was coming out when you said he had Kamara because I heard he played a championship game. Like your work league or
my work league.
Yeah, that's what he's in. Dan's in his work league championship. So, but yeah, so week 16 started off Friday. It was Christmas Day, 4:30, and all the presents were opened by Alvin Kamara. That's what I gotta say. The dude tied an NFL record with 6 rushing touchdowns.
What was he like, Al Bundy? Was he pulling an Al Bundy or something?
Right.
Oh, good Lord, man.
But he had on his Christmas cleats too.
Yeah.
So had on his, I guess Santa was helping him out, man, because that dude was.
Yeah, at one point Joe Puck says, "Gotta be the shoes."
Yeah, I didn't even watch it. And of course, they faded an inept team with an inept quarterback in Minnesota. I think, and so what I was going to say earlier is the NFC North is Aaron Rodgers and everybody else. It's a division of mediocre quarterbacks.
Yeah,
you know your love for Matt Stafford, my love for Kirk Cousins, and no one's love for whoever's in Chicago. Right? I mean, it's just
hey, look, don't sleep on Mitch, man.
Well, Mitch, don't call it comeback.
Yeah. Look, don't call it comeback. And I think the Bears are going to make the playoffs, man.
Oh, they definitely could. Looking at their schedule and see what they're playing this week, which we're going to pick. Okay, well, I wonder who I'm going to give the edge in that one.
But the problem is, I think they face your boy in week 17, if I'm correct, and they may have the number 1 seed locked up. So yeah, they play.
We might see some Jordan Love in that one.
Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, do not sleep on the Bears. Thanks to and we'll get to this game. Thanks to the Cardinals. I mean,
yeah. So and then New Orleans won their division with their win on Friday. Of course, they're going back to the playoffs. And I don't know if you saw it yet, dude. Sean Payton dancing.
No. Oh, I gotta see that.
Yeah, you had to. Yeah, well, you do. It's to live for. You have to see it. So congrats to New Orleans going back to the playoffs again. Detroit and Tampa Bay. They played yesterday, Christmas, the day after Christmas. Oh, I'm sorry. Tampa Bay played that game because I'm not sure Detroit showed up.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Tom Brady was like Santa Claus. He was giving everybody gifts. Antonio Brown, touchdown. There you go. Grunt. Hey, you want a touchdown? Take one. I mean, it was ridiculous, man.
47-7.
I mean, come on, man. They're a joke. Their franchise is a joke.
Stanford he did get hurt. He did start the game, but he did get hurt. Ankle injury.
Yeah.
He will be. He's getting evaluated. But yeah, that game. I mean, we knew Tampa Bay was going to win, but geez, 47.
I'm not. Before the podcast, I already went on a rant about Stafford for 10 minutes. But I'm just going to say this. I mean, if there's 3 things to be short of in life, right? There's death, taxes, and the inability to count on Matthew Stafford. Those 3 things are certain.
In an important game.
Yeah,
let's put that caveat there. So basically,
an important game, but pretty much period. You just can't not count on this guy. You can't. Definitely an important game, but he's just someone you can't count on.
So you think Matt Stafford is a lesser Kirk Cousins?
I don't even put
because Kurt's been to the playoffs, but
at least Kurt has played in big games. I mean, he's played in big games in Washington. He's played in big games in Minnesota. Stafford, I have no I don't care how much talent you have.
Yeah,
I have no confidence. Do you have any confidence? Seriously, do you have any confidence in Matt Stafford at all?
No, that's almost the same amount of confidence that I have in Mike Trout making the playoffs. So.
That's pretty funny. All right.
I had to throw Mike Trout in there. I don't know. I still got an issue with Mike Trout, but that's beside the point.
All right, man. All right. Let's go to the San Fran Arizona game, man.
Yeah. Another game that I forgot was on.
Well, it wasn't on. It was on Prime.
No, it was on Twitch. It was on Twitch.
It was
Yes.
on Amazon Prime.
Oh, and Amazon. Oh, I have Amazon Prime. I didn't. Thought
I was actually looking for the game. Like, where is it? Flipping through channels. And I was like, let me check Prime. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
And
good.
I watched it I watched the first drive, and that was it. I'm like, I'm done.
Okay. Well, San Francisco upset their division foes and beating Arizona, basically knocking Arizona down again in a loss that they didn't need to take, trying to make it to the playoffs, man.
It's ridiculous.
So this Kyler Murray for MVP talk kind of died. All these people out here smoking whatever they were smoking. I like Kyler Murray. I'm not saying
he's one of one.
You know. Yes, he's one of one. And when people were just like Kyler for president, it was ridiculous. Like, I'm not saying you can't support a player, but again, this is his second season. Just people calm the heck down.
Right. Just chill out.
Jeez, I know he's got Hopkins, but I just stop. Just stop.
Right.
So they end up losing their playoff chances are fading every loss that they take. So, but speaking of fading playoff hopes, the last game of the night was the Dolphins traveling to play the Las Vegas Raiders, and coming out with a victory.
Yeah.
And by the way, I thought Carr wasn't going to play. I swear it was going to be Mariota. So when I heard he was playing, I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
so
he played well. He played.
You know who else played?
Huh?
You know who else played?
Fitzpatrick.
Magic came through in the clutch.
Yeah.
So, what's your take on that game?
The Raiders stink. First of all, they they get a nice touchdown by Aguilar to go up by 6, and their kicker misses an extra point. So that's when I knew. That's when I knew
so much this year.
Huh?
Kickers missing extra points. I never thought them moving that back would create as much chaos as it does. Because honestly, I don't know if it's you. Cause I'm conditioned to the old NFL, right? So when I tune into a game and I see 7-6, 14-6, I'm thinking they got 2 field goals.
Right.
That was a mixed extra point. I'm like, oh, he missed the extra. That's so common now. It's crazy.
But that's right. But that was the moment I knew that the Raiders were going to lose. When they missed the extra point, I was like, because now, I mean, it's enough time for the Dolphins to go down and score a touchdown, which they did. And I'm actually glad they did because that left more time on the clock for the Raiders to do something.
Uh-huh.
And they played it perfectly. I mean, they used the clock. Josh Jacobs did the right thing. He could have scored. The Dolphins tried to let him score twice. They didn't let him score. I mean, he didn't score. They kicked the field goal, 19 seconds left on the clock. You would think, all right, 19 seconds left. They kicked the field goal. They're up by 2. It's a wrap. But no. Of course, blown coverage. I don't know how this dude was wide open.
No. Let's not only was he wide open, but also I have no idea how Fitzpatrick, with his head being twisted to the side, he still had the ball in his hand.
Yeah.
So to throw it to him without actually seeing the dude. Now he saw where he was going and he threw it in that direction, but his head was facing that way.
I hear you. I don't know how he did it, man.
So he was like one of these things. And I'm like, how did he even get the ball off?
It's crazy.
Not only the ball, but how was it accurate?
It's crazy, man.
So then, of course, that means they added on the roughing the passer.
Yep. So that was like 45 yards in like one play, pretty much. It was like ridiculous. And at that point, because I was watching on my iPad, I just threw the iPad down. And I was like, I lost, and they lost. And then I heard Naylor downstairs like, no. So I knew that. So I was like, yeah, that confirmed it. But yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. The Raiders stink. They have no, but they did play it right. Like, I don't know if they were criticized for not scoring the touchdown, but I don't think they should have scored the touchdown there. You drain that clock to 19 seconds and rely on your defense. That was absolutely the right call. Do you know if the Raiders are getting criticized for that?
Not that I know of.
Okay, all right. Because
the only criticism was Flores changing quarterbacks again.
Yeah, and so this is the second thing. You got to stop this, dude. Like,
it's not college.
Yeah, like, make up your mind. Either Tua is your guy or not. Like, I get it. Okay. I think he did the right. Okay. If you're looking to make the playoffs, if it's about the playoffs, he did the right thing. But at this point, just keep
Yeah, well, I mean,
keep Tua on the bench. You know what I mean? Keep Tua on the bench and let Fitzpatrick play. This switching quarterbacks and stuff is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You gotta stick with one or the other, man. And you got to decide, what are you playing for? Are you playing for the future, or if you're playing for the playoffs? If you're playing for the future, Tua has to go through these growing pains. He's not going to learn how to win if you keep taking him out in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Now, if you want to play for the playoffs, that's fine. Just keep Fitzpatrick in there. The Dolphins have a good defense. I think they may even have the number one defense in football right now.
Yeah, they have a really good defense.
Yeah, so if that's the case, you have a good defense, you have an experienced quarterback, and you're one win away from going to the playoffs. Just keep him in there. Just keep Fitzpatrick in there.
And the crazy thing about Fitzpatrick too, though, you don't know what Fitzpatrick you're gonna get.
Yeah, but Tua is not.
But
he's not gonna put it this way. You could keep Tua in there and win, maybe win a playoff game, but he's not. Dude, you can't win with. You're not winning a championship with Tua right now. They're not. He's not ready. They're not letting Tua. They're not letting Tua do anything, man. They're not. I mean, the offense is completely different when Fitzpatrick is in there.
Oh yeah,
it's the offense is open. When Tua's in there, it's limited. It's very limited with Tua. I mean, it's pretty obvious. And this is like the second Dolphins game I've seen like in the last couple of weeks. Like, it's very obvious. The only time they seem to open up the offense for him is when they were behind in Kansas City. Yep. You know what I mean? And when they were down by 21, they had to throw the ball downfield and they had to open up the offense, and he performed fine. But yeah, they need Flores. Just stick with the dude and just go with it. You know what I mean? So, me personally, I just think they should just stick with Fitzpatrick and see what happens.
Yeah, to me, well, it's funny because I think they should just stick with Tua and see what happens. I mean, that's the guy that you bench Fitzpatrick for him. So let him, like you said, let him go through his ups and downs, and your team still may be good enough to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
they're going to get into the play. They're going to make the playoffs, and I feel happy for Dolphins fans. You know what I mean? It's been a good year. They have a good team. They're on a little bit of a roll, and that was a nice win last night. You know, it sucks for me. It really sucks for me, but I feel happy for the Dolphins fans. You know, they've had many a year where they've had no quarterback, and they've had 7-9, 8-8, 6-10 seasons. You know, they have a winning season. Their future is bright, and because their defense is so good, they have a shot to win a playoff game or two. You know, so good for them, man.
All right, let's get to these games. Let's get to the picks for the remaining games today and tomorrow because we do Monday night game. I'm guessing we're both Kansas City against Atlanta. We both got Kansas City.
Yeah. Take if you're betting on the games, take the over and Kansas City to win. I mean, this game is gonna be ridiculous, yo. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Falcons defense stinks. I mean, Pat Mahomes is on cruise control right now.
Julio Jones is out again. I don't even know why you would want to reactivate him for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's a bad contract. They should have never re-signed that dude. But anyway,
Chicago at Jacksonville. We both got Chicago.
Yeah, Jacksonville. You know they're not going to win. Look, they benched Minshew again. They're not trying to win. They're putting Mike Glennon in there.
No, dude, why would listen? I'm putting in Glennon. Robinson, he's got an injury, so he's not.
No, he was hurt.
Okay.
In the Ravens game, he was hurt. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm about to say. I was like, I don't know if he has it, but he's has it. So they want to lose. They need to lose. They're gonna lose.
Yeah, they're going. Yeah. I think 30 of their players all of a sudden got COVID. Surprisingly, too.
Well, we'll get to a COVID situation in a little bit.
No, I'm just joking. But the Bengals and the Texans.
Houston.
Yeah, Houston.
That's just. I think the Bengals had good win of the season by beating Pittsburgh, and that's going to be about it.
Yeah.
We got Browns at the Jets. Now, Browns are missing 4 wide receivers due to COVID and COVID tracing and all this other stuff. One of them was one of the dudes that was going to play today. Found out about it yesterday. It's again, it's that time of year. It's the type of year we've had. So I don't know who. I mean, again, luckily for them, they have a running game. Both their running backs are fine. So all you got to do is keep handing off to them, and I think they're going to beat the Jets.
Yeah, you know, and I might have to pull a Kevin Hurt move on this one because in my champion, like I said, I don't really want to talk about fantasy too much, but of course, in my league, I'm in a championship. I'm already down like 100-2 thanks to Kamara. But anyway, I picked up Baker Mayfield specifically for this game, specifically for this matchup, and darn it,
4 wide
receivers got COVID, so I might have to pull a Kevin Hurt move and get your boy up off the scrap heap.
Oh, Jalen?
Huh? Yeah.
Jalen? Ah, good move.
Yeah. Well, hey, I learned from the best. Hey, what can I say? Not really, I'm stealing from you. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, I have him starting today too. So,
but that being said, I also have Nick Chubb on that team, so I'm kind of happy about that.
Yeah,
and I
know they're gonna run, man.
Yeah,
you like the Jets have a good front 7, and they're coming off their first win because they definitely stopped, the Rams.
Yeah,
but I think Cleveland has something to play for, and they're going to play for it. So
yeah, the Cleveland look, they're trying to win this division, man.
Yeah, so
and they still need to get in the. They are not safe at all. They are not. It's crazy. They're what 10-4.
10-4.
They are not a lock for the playoffs at all.
If they were in the NFC, they would have made it like 4 games ago.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. 8 teams are going to win. More than likely win 11 games in the AFC, and somebody's going to get left out, probably the Ravens. But anyway,
it's like in basketball with the the 2 conferences. So,
yeah. All right, here's the game that I care about the most.
We got the Colts going on the road to face the 3 in a row losing Pittsburgh Steelers. Who you got?
I got to go for the Steelers, man. I look, I don't.
You need the Colts to lose.
I need the Colts to lose badly, so I got to root for the Steelers.
The Colts. I mean, the Steelers we're going to have to turn it around, and they got to win again. And Cleveland's right on their tail. It's a 1-game lead now. I don't think did they sweep Cleveland this year? Or
no, they play Cleveland the last game of the year.
Oh, that's even better. Okay.
Yeah. So that game might be for the division, man.
So I actually have I was leaning towards Pittsburgh, but I'm taking the Colts to win this game. The Colts are surprising me. They're 10-4.
Yeah,
they're surprising me. Your boy Rivers and his 15 kids, all doing what they need to do in order to win this. These games that they've played so far. He's been Phillip Rivers. He's got good games, bad games, but somehow their defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Pittsburgh's reeling. It's going to be tough. I feel like Pittsburgh's going to win the game, but I'm just taking the Colts for this one. The next game, which I'm rooting for, the purple team in this one, is the Ravens at home against the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, this game is worrying me. I'm picking the Ravens, of course. I think Danny Dimes is going to play today. Ravens have a lot of cornerbacks hurt right now, which scares the heck out of me. And the Giants have a pretty good defense. They're pretty good against the run, but they haven't seen them run and attack like the Ravens. So hopefully the Ravens can take advantage of that. But yeah, I want to take them to win the game.
Yeah, so I'm hoping the Ravens can take advantage of Lamar's quickness, get him down the field. But like you said, I feel like this game's gonna be tighter.
Yeah.
Than what it how I would want it to be, because I need the Giants to lose because they swept Washington during the season. We still have to win our games. We still got a 1-game lead. So and the Eagles and the Cowboys face each other. So whoever loses that game is gone. But so I'm rooting for them to win. I don't know how they're going to do. I know it's going to be cold. It's not rainy, thank goodness. But I don't know how they're going to do it. Like I was so concerned that I benched Lamar this week. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to have a great game, but I think he's going to have a good enough game to give Baltimore that win. So we shall see. So speaking of winning, look at the Chargers. Chargers, the 5-9 Chargers. At first, man, these Chargers were terrible, but they've had some back-to-back victories. Denver is going to be missing some people. They're playing. The Chargers are playing at home in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. I'm picking the Chargers to win this game.
Absolutely, same here.
All right, next game, which my game here, Washington at home against Carolina. Again, I don't know who's playing today at quarterback. I haven't checked anything. I don't know if it's Alex Smith or Private Party Haskins. But I'm hoping it's Alex Smith. If Alex Smith plays, we definitely win this game. If Haskins wins, we're still winning this game anyway. So I'm picking Washington.
Yeah, I'm picking the football team. Yep.
One of my favorite games ever, the Eagles-Cowboys. This is the only game I watch where I'm usually closest when it comes to any Dallas game. I'm never neutral. This is the closest of neutrality that I could ever get. Because I definitely have a resentment for both teams, but I think the Eagles are going to win this game.
Yeah, you better hope the Eagles win this game, man.
So if they don't, then we're going to hear about it.
I got a funny feeling, man.
Yeah, I have a good feeling. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a good game. That's what I'm hoping for.
I got a bad feeling about this one, man. I'm going Cowboys. I got a bad feeling about this one.
I don't like that feeling. All right. My Rams, my other team, who's I don't know what kind of roller coaster they've been on, like Disney's open or something, is going on the road to face Seattle, and it's a tough divisional game. Who you got?
Well, you don't have to worry about this one. The Rams are going to win this game. I don't know what it is. Even when Jeff Fisher was coaching this team, Seattle had problems with the Rams. I don't know why Seattle has so much problems with this team. The Rams are going to win today.
And I have the Rams winning too. The matchup.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is about this matchup that gives Seattle problems, man.
But look, Seattle didn't do well last week, and they're missing a couple of things. DJ Metcalf was held last week, and the Rams already beat them earlier in the season.
Seattle's really not a good team. They kind of remind me of the Ravens. Like Russell Wilson.
The thing is, they're 10-4, but I feel like they've struggled to get there.
Yeah, they're 10-4, but Russell Wilson, they're 10-4 because of that dude. Like you take that dude off, that team sucks. That team stinks. They have their defense is terrible. I mean, their offense is whatever, but it's because of Russell Wilson. He's, like I say, he is definitely the glue to that team, and we'll see what happens today. But I think the Rams going to win.
Rams, Titans, Sunday night game. Excuse me, Titans on the road taking on my Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
Oof. Well, I'm picking the Titans this game only because I need them to win this game.
That Russian attack. Remember what happened with Green Bay in the playoffs last year? They just got ran on constantly. And then when you got the juggernaut on the other side, again last week, he's just tossing people aside. Like I couldn't even do that to a toddler. This dude's doing that to grown men.
Yeah.
That being said, Green Bay's going to win.
I hope not.
Why do you hope not?
Because I need for the Ravens' purposes, I need Tennessee.
You need the Titans to win in order?
The
schedule thing or something?
Yeah, see, the Titans could throw a monkey wrench in this whole thing. I need the Titans to win the division. If the Colts win the division, that puts the Titans in this playoff spot, and the Ravens.
Oh, I got you.
The Ravens lost to the Titans.
Yeah.
We beat Indy, so I need Indy to stay in that slot where they're at.
Okay.
So I really need Pittsburgh to win, and I really need the Titans to win.
Yeah. Oh, the playoff scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go for Green Bay because I want them, to sew up that number one seed and call it a day. Because I want all things to go through Green Bay. Monday Night Football. We have the Bills, the new division champions, 11-3, taking on the now playoff, no hope left playoff chances for the Patriots? Or you got?
I mean, I'm taking the Bills. And by the way, does Belichick regret not having Brady? I mean, look how good this dude is doing down in Tampa.
Well, he's got a lot of weapons. Well, remember, a couple of weeks ago, they weren't doing so good in Tampa. So they've been up and down in Tampa as well, to be honest with you. But of course he knows. But he honestly, what does Tom have in, or whoever plays quarterback in Tampa? What not Tampa, New England? Who are they throwing to? There's nothing there. Edelman's hurt. None of these people are there. The dude now has Mike Evans and Godwins and Gronkowski's and weapons.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I mean, what do they have in New England? Neil?
N'Keal Harry.
I mean, come on. No. So I know Tom's like, hey, it's warmer down here. I know he's happier down there. Bill's like, well, I know they needed to move on, but I'm sure he always wanted Garofalo. So,
yeah. Okay.
Bring him back next year. So we'll see. So yeah, I got Buffalo for that one too.
All right.
All right. So something else that happened this week was the start of the NBA season.
Well, wait a minute. Before we get to the NBA real quick.
Top 5, bottom 5. I keep forgetting the top 5, bottom 5.
Yeah.
All right. This is Christmas week. I want you to start off with your top 5 to give some teams hope, so they know where they stand at for for as our year end is coming.
All right, well, Hurt, I do. Whoops. Sorry about that. I got 5 on it, Hurt, and my 5, man, it's a major shakeup, man, in my 5. So, at number 1, well, no, let's start off at number 5. At number 5.
Number 5.
And I don't know how they even continued to stay in this top 5, but I do have the Steelers at number 5. They just keep going down, down, down. I was so close to putting the Browns in there, but no, the Steelers. I got them at number 5. At number 4, New Orleans Saints. Number 3, the Buffalo Bills, which means number 2.
What?
Are your
What?
Bay Packers.
What? You put my Packers up?
And at number 1,
I'm shocked.
the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes.
The lack of respect you have shown Aaron Rodgers this season by not having him up there. You had him at like 5B forever. For you to move them to number 2, finally you have come to your senses.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that. And Aaron, is very, very happy. You might get a discount State Farm.
Thank you.
So my bottom 5 this week, I usually start off with number 1, but we're going to start with number 5 this week.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna go backwards because again, there's been it's a monumental shakeup. It's insane.
Insane.
So the 5th worst team, at least to me, Houston. They're 4-10. I know they've struggled this season. I don't know why listen. He wants to open a restaurant up. He got that new contract. I guess he can do what he wants, but it's supposed to be 5 people or less. He had 10 people over. Just I don't know. Houston's is having that kind of season. 4-10. They're done. They're garbage. They're number 5. Number 14. It's sometimes it's tough to put a team here that because there are other teams that have worse records like Carolina. But sometimes I go by expectations. Minnesota is such a disappointing team.
Well,
Go
I was going to say, yeah, after their last performance, they deserve to be on this list.
I mean, after, Dalvin Cook was leading the league in rushing at one point. I don't know where Kirk Cousins is. It's like where's Waldo sometimes when it comes to Kirk. That team it's just been a disappointment. Obviously, they couldn't stop the running game that last game. So Minnesota's number 4. Number 3 is going to be a tie between Atlanta and Carolina because they're both terrible. They're both terrible. They're both 4-10. Matt Ryan, new team, new space, backing up, starting somewhere. Maybe he might be good in New England. I don't know. Maybe he can go back home. He's from Boston. He went to Boston College. Maybe that might be better for him. But Atlanta needs a restart. Carolina needs a restart. Build around, run TMC down Number 2, for the first time all season, they have improved their stock. They are out of the bottom 5. They are not the leading team at the bottom. They're just next to the bottom. The New York Jets coming off their first win of the season. I told you there'll be a monumental shift, and here it is. The Jets are now number 2, the worst teams in the league. And number 1, the team that's in the lead now for Trevor sweepstakes, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jags, Jags.
Trevor. Trevor.
Yes.
So yeah, they're in the Trevor sweepstakes, man. So yeah, first time. I think Jets have been there all season, and then and they've improved themselves. Congratulations to them.
Yeah.
So it's so funny. I always forget the top 5, bottom 5, even though it's one of my favorite segments. But I'm always so quick to try to move on to the NBA.
NBA, here we go.
NBA started off 22nd. It was opening night in NBA. The Lakers got the ring ceremony that they had, which was pretty cool. A lot of because there's no fans there. They were introduced by their families.
Oh, okay.
To get their rings. Like I'm giving, like whoever's on the team. I can't even think of anybody besides LeBron. Oh, AD. Like AD was his wife and kids, and other people had their kids or their parents say, "Hey, I'm presenting the championship ring to," so on and so forth. Kyle Kuzma's mom and sister, whoever you wanted. LeBron had, of course, his mom, his uncles, a couple of kids from his I Promise school introduced him as well, and his kids too presented his ring. So that was kind of cool. Now, they're not going to unveil the banner until fans can come back in. So the banner is still covered up, which I think that's cool, that they're going to wait for fans to come back before they had the banner. But they played the Clippers that first night, lost to the Clippers. Which they did last season, by the way, which was kind of funny. They played the Clippers the first game, lost to the Clippers. But new season, new teams, new coaches. KD looks healthy, man.
Yeah.
What are your expectations of this? Well, first of all, let me get the Wiz report. Wiz are on 2. I don't know if you've seen them play yet. Westbrook, of course, first game as a Wizard, triple-double. Bradley Beal's looking good. Definitely have a good offense, man. But what do you think about these Wizards?
Yeah, draft pick. I forget his name already. He's looking cool. Same thing like last year. Their offense looks like it's going to be okay. They can't stop anybody. That's the problem with the Wizards. They got to learn how to play defense, man.
Yeah, they're just giving up way too many points. But I think, again, they have to grow into themselves and just do a little bit better because they can shoot. They can shoot, but giving up 130 to Orlando, that's just not going to work.
No.
That's just not going to work. You do that every night, you're definitely just going to be staying home. So, of course, they only played like 2 games, a couple of Christmas Day games that happened. But what are your expectations for this whole fanless season where they're traveling between cities? They're not in a bubble anymore. So, and I already know there's only 4 Rockets in quarantine until Wednesday.
Who is?
Rockets are missing 4 players due to COVID tracing and everything. And it didn't have anything to do with James Harden, this one. But DeMarcus Cousins, John Wall, Eric Gordon, and Mason Jones were considered close contact, and due to protocol, they'll be out until Wednesday.
Wow.
So, but they had enough players in order to play the Trailblazers last night. So, because I think you need 8. They need 8 healthy players in order to play a game.
And they went to overtime against Portland too.
Yeah. Yep.
And it took a 3, a last minute 3.
Yeah, by McCollum.
Yeah.
Yeah, to finish that game off. Yeah, and that was a 128-126 game.
Yeah.
But, excuse me. You think this is going to be something that's going to happen throughout the whole year? Or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at all the other sports, man. Like, the bubble was perfect, man, because you shielded people away from this virus.
Yeah.
You contained, I should say, people. You can't really do that now. There's still, I think there's not going to be a whole lot of problems, but there are going to be problems when people get they test positive, and they're going to have to cancel games. This isn't like football where the games are weeks apart. They're days apart, and there's travel involved. But like you said, with if you only need 8 people to play, then maybe there's some ways to kind of get around this. But yeah, it's definitely going to have an effect this year. How many games are they playing this year, by the way?
72.
Okay.
Yeah, but Houston already had a game postponed early in the week, and they had to reschedule that. So yeah, things are going to have to be moved around a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, for any other traveling sport, they're going to have issues. There's going to be COVID cases. There's going to be teams that have 4 or 5 or 6 people that may be out due to it. So they're going to go through their growing pains like the NFL and college football and college basketball, all the college sports. And so yeah, it's gonna be a fun season, I think, though. It's gonna be a fun season. I still, for some reason, as much as I've been watching football or even soccer, not seeing fans at NBA arenas is still weird to me.
Yeah, I get that.
The bubble was fine. Like, for some reason, the bubble, I felt like I was in the bubble.
Yeah, because it's more intimate, smaller setting. In the way they could do it with the video screens and there's not a lot of people. I mean, you're in this huge. Those arenas are huge.
Yeah,
and
but you think by watching football games where people aren't there, that my mind would be, this is where we're at. But with basketball, because they came out of the bubble and everything was and the people were like right there, and it seemed like it was a gym. Like they were just playing in the gym, but it was like competitive.
Right.
But now it's just like, I still feel like it's an exhibition. It's just because there's just no one's there.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I'm still not used to it. But, believe me, we got, 70 games left to kind of get over that. So speaking of all the games, man, we got to pick our division winners. I know it's early in the season, but that's what we do. So let's start off with usually called the Lesser Conference. Let's start off with the East.
Yeah.
Start with the East. We got the Atlantic.
The Nets are looking pretty good right now, but I like KD. I don't like Kyrie. I'm gonna go with no. You know what? Nets have a lot of talent. I'll pick them to win the Atlantic.
Okay. I agree. I'm picking the Nets to win the Atlantic, but can't pick the Tampa Bay Raptors for this one.
Yeah.
Philly's 2-0. Doc is coaching that team now. I don't know if I trust Embiid. I don't, or Ben. The dude KD has come back. He's got something to prove. Came out there Achilles. The dude wants to play. He's going to play hard, and he wants that MVP. He wants to. So I think Brooklyn's definitely going to win that division.
All right. What about the Central? Who you got?
Central Milwaukee. Giannis signed that new contract, getting pizzied with the Supermax. They have the most talent. They have the best player in that division. Chicago, Detroit, they're just going to be there to help the other teams. And, Cleveland, even though they're a surprising 2-0, I just think Milwaukee's going to just win that division. Indiana probably come in second. But I have Milwaukee winning that.
Yeah, that division stinks. So, yeah, I'm taking the Bucks.
Yeah, so speaking of the East, let's go to the Southeast. And, of course, there's Atlanta, Orlando, Miami, Charlotte, and the Wizards. Who you got winning the Southeast?
Another stinky division. I'm taking the Heat.
Okay, I'm taking the Heat definitely because they made the finals last year. They have good coaching. They have, of course, their general manager is, legendary. The Hawks will be a problem because they can score a lot of points. Rondo's on that team now. And Trey's there. So they definitely score. I don't know how their defense is going to be. But I think they may have a playoff run in them. But I think that division belongs to Miami.
All right.
So over in the Western Conference, we got a competitive one, which all of them are actually. But let's go, with the Northwest.
Northwest. I'm going to take the Jazz to win this one.
Okay. Everybody.
No. I'm sorry. The Nuggets. Take Denver.
Okay. With Jokic. The Nuggets, they played hard. They played hard. They were probably one of the best teams in the bubble. So was Portland, and Utah was good. Oklahoma City lost a lot. And this is going to be a tough one. I'm going to go. And for some reason, Portland makes it to the playoffs, but they never win the Northwest Division. But you know what? I'm going to go for Utah. I'm going to say Utah is going to win this division. It's going to be tough, though. And it's going to be fun to watch because actually the bubble made me respect Utah and Nuggets basketball.
Yeah, right.
So I'm going to I will put some respect on those teams' names. So yeah.
I don't know why I mix up the Jazz in Denver. I don't know why I mix them up.
It feels like they play in the same place.
Yeah.
That's why. As they say, it's East Coast bias, so I apologize for that. You know what? Let's go with the Southwest. We'll start with the Southwest. Southwest.
Hey, I'm taking Luka and the Mavs.
Okay, Luka and the Mavs off to 0-2 start. Houston, I don't even know who's on Houston anymore. Oh, yeah, Harden's there for now. Spurs are 2-0. Now your boy has no limit restrictions down there in Nolan's.
Oh, okay.
So he played many minutes as he wants to now. And saying all that, I think, you know what? Maybe because I'm married to a Spurs fan, I'm just going to pick the Spurs. Now, mind you, I can't name not two people on that team, but it's a good team because Popovich is there. Absolutely. I think Dallas is going to be strong. Dallas is going to be strong. But I think there's a lot of expectations, so we're going to see how they play out this year. But I'm just going to give it to the Spurs. And let's start off with and then end it with the Pacific Division. Of course, that's the division with the Clippers, Kings, Lakers, Suns, and Warriors. Who you got?
I have an LA team. I don't know which one though. I'm gonna say the Clippers.
Okay. Clippers 2-0. I know Kawhi had 8 stitches, I think, in his mouth last night, getting elbowed.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was bad. It was bleeding everywhere. They're up to 2-0 start. One of their wins is against the Lakers. Of course, they have a new coach. They got Tyronn Lue. This is the division. I think this division is going to be tight, except for Golden State, who is terrible. Honestly, I feel like Golden State's going to probably finish last or next to last, definitely in this division, and maybe even in the conference. They're just not good. You can't, it can't just be the Steph show.
Yeah.
But I have the Lakers winning the division. I just think they're the best team, solid team. They got younger, you got Schroeder, they got Montrezl Harrell. So
yeah, and they still have Kuzma, they still have Caldwell Pope, and
they lost some people, most namely Rondo. But they still have and of course Dwight Howard, because that's a big loss. I saw JaVale McGee the other day. He plays for the Cavs.
Who?
JaVale McGee.
Oh.
Yeah, wow. I was like, oh, look at him playing for the Cavs. Good job. Proud of you. But Serge Ibaka playing for the Clippers, definitely gives them more depth, and it's a good team. So, but I'm still going to give the division to the Lakers. So NBA Finals, who you got, man? I know it's only December, and we're usually 2 months into the NBA season instead of 2 games.
Yeah,
a little bit different this year. But who you got in the NBA Finals?
Man, this is going to be hard. Man. I definitely think the Lakers are going back. Actually, I'm thinking the Lakers are going to win another championship. The question is who they're going to beat. I'll say Philly.
Oh, okay. All right, good. All right. I know everybody, all the pundits and people are picking Brooklyn. They just have to stay healthy. Brooklyn has to stay healthy, but so does Philadelphia in order to make it. I'm going to go with Brooklyn going. I think with Steve Nash, KD is a man on a mission. He's a man on a mission to prove something. The dude can be unstoppable. He can be with Kyrie there or not. The dude is good. Brooklyn made the playoffs without either one of them. So both of them working together. KD again. The interviews will be interesting every day. but KD's KD. He's a special dude. He's a special talent, and he can be, when he's healthy, the best player in the game. So I got a got an East Coast West Coast beef here. We got New York, LA, and I think the Lakers are going back to the championship. And man, let me tell you something. If LeBron gets number 5, There's no stopping me on this podcast. So, and I think the Lakers will take it in 7-game epic series where AD establishes himself as one of the best players, and I think he'll be the X factor in that series. So, like I said, if it happens, but I think Lakers, Nets, Lakers in 7. Book it. So, on from the NBA, there's something that we wanted to bring up last week that I forgot about, which I apologize for, because when I put the sitting here writing down the show and stuff, we just go through stuff. And as you know, as you watch the show, everybody, we just start talking and go off on a tangent and kind of just forget about things. Like we're just talking about fantasy football for 5 minutes, and we usually give it like 10 seconds.
Oh, and by the way, Matt Stafford is so overrated. Just to let you know, he's just that guy. I mean, they make more excuses for that dude. Let me shut up.
You know what you're going to get one year, just out of nowhere, out of the blue, a Matt Stafford jersey. Just someone's going to mail it to you. It's going to be signed too. He'll sign it to Brian from Matt.
Will it be a Georgia jersey?
No, definitely going to be a now, it probably have some value if it was a Bulldog jersey. But it will be a signed Lions jersey, believe me. That would be, and maybe one of their color rush ones, just to make it even better.
By the way, those uniforms are awful. They're all gray. If you're gonna have all one color, please don't use gray.
No, all gray does not work out. Oh, you know what? The only time it ever worked out all gray was with the Georgetown Hoyas. I think they were the only team ever, and honestly, in my opinion, that ever got away wearing all gray. It just worked for them with the blue numbers, and it just worked out for them. Everybody else, and when they try to wear it in the NBA, that doesn't work. But yes, Georgetown's the only team that to me got to wear that color scheme.
Terrible.
So,
but anyway, let's talk about the big news.
Yes, that we forgot about last week. But nonetheless, it is huge. So last week, MLB had decided to grant Major League status to the Negro League Baseball, which after I don't know how many freaking years. Now they've done this with other leagues, and it's past time. And it was not national pastime, but it's past time that they did this, man. It's
right.
So all the records for the Negro League will be counted in with MLB. People will learn about players that they should have known about a long time ago, because they were electing Negro League baseball players into the Hall of Fame.
Right. Yeah.
The Buck O'Neills and the Josh Gibsons, and that's where Jackie came from.
Right.
And you grew up playing baseball. I grew up playing baseball. We grew up knowing these stories. We grew up learning about these men.
My grandfather would tell me stories about Josh Gibson and Roy Campanella. You know what I mean? He told me stories about him. And he would tell me, all the time, these dudes were just as good. We're just as good. And it's so good that Major League Baseball is finally recognizing their achievements and their stats. And I don't want to hear well, they didn't play in the major leagues. You know why? Because they kept us out. And you know what would have happened if we played? We would have dominated. So I don't even want to hear. I mean, anytime Satchel Paige is dominating at 59 years old. Like, give me a break. So I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear it all.
Have you heard that argument from people? Have you heard that argument?
You know that there are going to be those out there that'll. I haven't heard it lately, but yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it in the past. Yeah, absolutely. I've heard it in the past.
Well, again, when you have a league that doesn't have all the best players in it, like MLB didn't have without having the best players, just think of how good Jackie was when he came over.
Right.
I think he played with Homestead Grays, I believe. Just imagine, although I think it was the Kansas City Royal.
Kansas City Monarchs. Yeah.
Yeah. So how good these guys were, how many years they played, because those games were sold out. Don't think that they were just going around playing in front of 5 people. Negro League Baseball was huge. The players were awesome. That wasn't, baseball was a black national pastime, honestly, because there was no real NFL for black people. The NBA wasn't basically kind of wasn't even around yet. It was only baseball. And baseball's been played for a long time, back to the 1800s. So you had guys growing up, and all you need is a bat. You can make out a piece of wood and some twine or some socks, because I know what we all played with. Some socks, or put a bunch of wool together, and you got yourself a baseball. Make yourself a glove, and you have a sport. And like I know, like you did, I was outside all day.
Yep.
Throwing that ball against the wall, just thinking I was one of these players. And we grew up with great, African American baseball players growing up. Now, unfortunately, it's less now because there's so many sports.
Yeah.
But but again, I feel like we were excluded a lot from MLB for a long time. Like just to reach the kids, to go out and the grassroots efforts to have kids come up a lot. As I try to teach the kids now, they didn't grow up with baseball. And I know they consider it boring, but there's nothing. If you played the game, whether it's at Little League or at college or whatever, there's nothing like stepping on that field with those lines drawn down right and left. You had the foul poles, you got the dirt mound, you had the grass around you, you had the dirt infield. There's nothing like it. Just a nice spring or summer day out on a baseball field, freshly cut, even though I was allergic to it. There's nothing like it.
It's nothing like it. And this baseball, don't get me wrong, I love football. There's a lot of action in football. But baseball, the game of football is the best sport.
You just say game of football?
Yeah, this is the game of baseball. Did I say football?
You said football.
I did say baseball. And it's funny because there's this misconception, well, not a misconception. People say, oh, it was boring. There's nothing going on. There is something going on every single pitch in baseball. You may not see it on TV, but the catchers, might be switching signals. The catcher's moving a glove is framing a pitch in a certain way, which causes the outfield to position themselves in a certain way, or the infielders to position themselves in a certain way. And a batter might be moving up closer to the plate because the pitcher's been throwing outside on them all day. I mean, there's little nuances of the game that are awesome that come across as boring, but it's literally a chess match going on in every play, and I love it.
Yeah, but it's nothing. It is chess.
Yeah,
it is chess. But yeah, this is long overdue. To Buck O'Neil's and everybody who deserves to be recognized, and just not on one day when they get into a Hall of Fame, their records will be there. When you open up the MLB record books, you will see their names because that's where they belong. They just don't belong on the Hall of Fame. Their numbers, their real numbers for a league that was around for nearly 30 years before they started integrating, count. And just to everybody, like you said, even when I don't know if you go to any of these exhibitions or go into these halls and you see guys who played, just wanted to share, like you said, like your grandfather did, just share the history of this league because it meant so much to us.
Yeah.
And without it, we wouldn't have played.
Yep.
Without it, we wouldn't have probably never even picked up a bat.
Yep. That reminds me, man. One day, we gotta do this, man. We gotta go to Kansas City, man, and go to the Negro Leagues Hall of Fame. I hear it's awesome. That's one of my things I gotta do.
You ain't gotta say nothing to me. I'll go. I ain't going to St. Louis. I will go to Kansas City.
St. Louis is a nice city, man.
I do not like St. Louis at all. There's
St.
not.
Louis reminds me a lot of
Archers. I don't like the Cardinals. Not the ones that left. The ones that are still there. I don't. I'm good. I'll go to KC. I got my homes there. We got the Negro League, Hall of Fame and barbecue. I'm there. I'll go to KC anytime. I just ain't stopping in St. Louis.
All right.
So, anyway, but everybody, wait. We got our New Year's resolution.
Yeah, the New Year's coming up in about a little less than a week, Hurt, and I have some resolutions, man.
Okay, good. I'm glad you got some because I don't have any. But what you got?
Okay, for my team.
Okay.
All right. First of all, for the Orioles, New Year's resolution. Keep doing what you're doing. You're drafting well. You're building up your minor leagues. The Orioles minor leagues, I think, is top 10 right now.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I mean, our minor league system is really, really good. I mean, it's to the point where, don't you know when they do the what was it, the Rule 5 draft every year? People try to pluck players from our minor league system now. It's getting so good in a Rule 5 draft. So yeah, so we're getting there, but we gotta get 500 this year. I know it's asking a lot, but we gotta be more competitive, and we gotta at least be 500. That's my New Year's resolution for the Orioles. For the Ravens, Ozzy, Eric, I don't know how y'all got to do it. Please get Lamar a legit number one wide receiver. That's all I ask. Please get this man a number one wide receiver. He would be so much more of a better quarterback. It would do so much for just the threat of a number one receiver will open up the offense so much in so many ways. I don't know how y'all got to do it. I don't care if y'all got to get Allen. Get Allen Robinson. Somebody. You could have had Stephon Diggs. You could have had DeAndre Hopkins. That one pissing me off because they only gave up a third and a fifth for him. And we gave up a third and a fifth for Yannick Ngakoue. So we could have had DeAndre Hopkins. Could have had Stephon Diggs. That would have been
unless they didn't want to trade him within the conference.
Yeah.
I mean, because their general manager at the time was great. So who knows?
Yeah. All I know is please get Lamar. Make that your New Year's resolution. Get Lamar number one wide receiver. And that's it.
That's all you got? That's it? All
Yeah.
right. So I'll go off the dome. Nothing for the Wizards? Nothing for the Caps?
No.
Okay. Well, for my New York Metropolitans, keep doing what you're doing. We got money now. We have a new owner. We ain't Poe. Okay. We can act like a rich team. Let's buy people. I'm fine with what we're doing. Let's buy people. Look, there's free agents out there. There's the Springers of the world. Listen, buy them. Put them on the team. Let's go. I want playoffs this year. I need that. No one needs to come back healthy after came off of Tommy John. We had the best pitcher in baseball. We have to get going. Buy people. We have the money. Let's go. For the Washington football team, only thing I gotta say is you guys are doing way better than I thought you were going to be doing at this point. And I don't want you to get a name. I like the fact you don't have a name.
Please pick a name, please.
I like it. We don't need one. I'm burgundy and gold all day. Superstitious. If we win a division without a name, we need to keep it. Maybe the fortunes to change. I don't care. We don't want Red Wolves, Red Hawks, Hawks, the Warriors, whatever. Because honestly, they're probably coming up. It's going to be something dumb. I don't want that. Let's just Washington football team established 1930, whatever, 38, and just leave it at that. I'm fine with that. We have our colors. I like the helmets even better with the W. They look so much better.
Okay.
Getting rid of what we had and moving on to where we're moving on to is so much better. So, and shout out to my high school who we dropped our Indians name, and Cleveland. Cleveland's dropping their Indians name as well. Yeah. I have to bring that up. Cleveland, won't be this season, but in probably the season after, they will no longer be called the Cleveland Indians. They're changing their name. So my Nyack Indians back in my high school now, Nyack Redhawks. Would have went with Red Wolves. That's just me. I'm a Wolf guy. But, the Redhawks isn't bad.
Okay.
So,
what about Arsenal? Does Arsenal have any in New Year's resolution?
Oh, yeah, get out of 14th place. So we're not. Well, we beat Chelsea yesterday.
Beat Tottenham. How about that one?
Yeah, don't mention that. At any rate, Arsenal just do better. That's all I can say. I don't want to sack the manager. Just do better. I didn't even want to talk about it. I wasn't going to bring him up because I'm so.
Hey man, you got that hat on. I got to wear.
That's true. Well, yeah, and the shirt too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in NYMD podcast. Make sure you have a safe New Year's. Please stay inside. Stay with your families. Keep your masks on. You could celebrate remotely. You could Zoom. You could Google whatever Google has. You can do whatever. Just be safe. Stay inside. Watch the countdown. Do what you need to do. But just have a happy, safe New Year. And of course, we're here on YouTube. Please subscribe to us, N1MD Podcast. You can download us where you find your podcast: Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, wherever you find your podcast, you will find N1MD Podcast. And of course, Face Speech. Where did I get that from? Wow. Facebook, IG, and the Twitter. N1MD Podcast. And Happy New Year. And our year-end show will be next week. And everybody be safe. I'll let you later.
Peace out, y'all.